Verdad connection. I'm at Maroon El Ras. Your report is not accurate. There are 7 killed and maybe 18 wounded. I'm standing in the midst of thousands and thousands of Palestinians. Some of them are pushing their way into Palestine. We're at Maroon El Ras. Thousands and thousands are still arriving here, even though the ceremonies have ended, because they're arriving late from Akka and Badawi and Nara Barrett. Literally hundreds and hundreds of buses. Hezbollah arranged for 200 more buses to come from Syria. Palestinians have come from Syria. They're still arriving. I am amazed at what I am seeing. I am seeing so many babies, so many pregnant women. There are so many buses here that you have to walk the last 4 or 5 miles uphill and through fields. There are people on crutches. There are old people. If anybody thinks that Palestine is not going to be liberated, let them come to Maroun al-Ras this May 15th. This is a historic event. It's similar to the freedom marches that America used to have in the 1960 civil rights movement. The spirit is so great. There's so many youth. This is a momentous historic event. I think it cannot but lead to the liberation because of the Arab and Islamic awakening, and this is part of that awakening. If you could see, I know the press TV is here somewhere, my friend Ali Rizk, but I lost, so you're probably getting some footage. But it's amazing. I've been to a lot of demonstrations. Nothing like this, I think, has ever occurred on this question of Palestine in the past 3 years.
Now, Franklin, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Now, on other occasions of the Nakba, there have been commemorations. So you're saying that it's starkly different from previous commemorations of this day?
And the reason is, as you know, the Lebanese in the Palestinians have virtually no civil rights. It is a huge crime. But they have never been allowed. I've seen people now looking into Palestine crying. People, they have never been allowed to come south of the Litani River by law, by discriminatory law passed by the Lebanese parliament. So what's unique about this and why it caught on is that this was the first chance in 63 years for many of these people crowded on these hundreds and hundreds of buses to see Palestine. That's why it's different. And what happened is the certain forces objected to it, but the resistance and the Palestinians said, we're coming, so they allowed them to come again for the first time in more than half a century. And they're sitting here. Many are agitating. They want to go to Akka. If you stand on a pole here, you can see Akka, if you can believe that or not. It's about 30 miles away from here, but you can see it. So that's what makes it historic, is that it's the first time that massive, I'm estimating, and we will see, there are 250,000 Palestinians still in Lebanon, living in terrible conditions. I'm going to guess, you people are the experts, but I'm going to guess there's probably 20%, at least 50,000, 20% of the Palestinians in Lebanon are here today. And so let those who say we cannot give them civil rights, we cannot give them housing, we cannot give them jobs, because they're forgetting about Palestine. These people are not forgetting about Palestine, and the young people are energized by the Islamic and Arab awakening, and I think it's the beginning of a massive, massive intifada.
Well, Franklin, with what you've just
solidarity.
Well, Franklin, with what you've just described, I mean, I think any human being could just possibly imagine not being able to go back to their homeland, it being taken away, and as you said, seeing it for the first time, the sheer emotion that you must be witnessing out there.
Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
I was just saying, I'm sure, like any human being, just imagining if their land had been taken from them, just and being able to see it for the first time, just the sheer emotion that you're probably witnessing out there.
Absolutely, exactly that. You could not be more accurate. And the young people, they have tears. only before they heard from their grandfathers or their parents something. But now they see it, and they see those Zionist soldiers right over there in their arrogance, driving back, pointing guns. You can imagine. You can imagine what the resistance is thinking. I'm not predicting there's going to be any illness here, but the tension is very high. And again, as we're speaking, the ceremonies have been over for hours, but people are still coming. There's no way to leave this area. People, again, because there's so many buses and services and taxis jamming all of this part of southern Lebanon between Aytayun, Bint Jbeil, Amun el-Ras. It's really amazing, and people are great solidarity. Quite a few Europeans here. But lots of Lebanese, these Lebanese who some people say, well, they've had enough of the Palestinians. But there's lots of Lebanese here, and so I think it's truly historic. But we'll wait for Ali Rizk and the Press TV people to give us the.
All right, Franklin.
Maybe you have them. I'm just in the middle of this huge crowd.